We're in Bannockburn House, just on the outskirts of Bannockburn. It goes back a long way, so it's an amazing place. It just reeks of history. The house was built in 1654 for Sir John Rollo. We're not sure who the architect was, but it's remarkably similar to Argyll Lodging in Stirling. It's the same style of house. Certainly the ceiling, which is fabulous, is similar to the one in Holyrood Palace. So it's really quite rare. There's only two in the whole of Scotland. The most famous person was obviously Bonnie Prince Charlie. This was his headquarters after the Battle of Falkirk. He was actually ill, took ill when he was in the house, and that was where he first met Clementina Wilkinshaw, who later bore him a child. But it wasn't conceived here, despite rumours. In 1782, the Act forbidding the wearing of tartan was repealed, and at that point, Wilson started manufacturing in tartan on an industrial scale and is credited with the man that introduced tartan to Scotland. They were the ones that in 1884 he built the extension. Even in the 50s, there used to be the people of Bannockburn would march up to the house. They would come up to the house. This is when Miss Mitchell, who was the last person that lived in the house, was here. And it was a grand place. I mean, there's 3 Rolls Royces, 10 gardeners, maids, servants. I mean, the whole, well, you've seen the size of the house. I mean, it's a big, big house. So that we keep finding just connections for all the people that have owned the house. And it has been important. It's a shame that it was left for 50 years empty, and yet I think the appeal of the house is the fact that it is empty. There was a fire in 1972 which destroyed one of the big rooms in the Victorian extension, the kitchen and the scullery. To me, that's the real living history. That's the ordinary people, how they lived, which is much easier to relate to than the posh folk. We've had a lot of help from Historic Scotland in identifying what needs to be done. We plan to recreate the ornamental gardens, the kitchen gardens. There's a vast area up behind us that will be for open air concerts, outdoor events, firework displays. We're going to have open days, fairs. It's a big area. We're limited only by our imagination, really. There seems to be plenty of interest from funders in helping us conserve the house. Our problem is buying it, and at the moment we're still about 30,000 short. We have crowdfunding on the go at the moment, which is going quite well. We've got a couple of thousand in 2 days, and we're starting a Twitter campaign. But we're really confident we can do it. There's so much enthusiasm locally for it.